Hi guys, welcome back to the channel and we're going to continue with part 3 of Ian's CanDoo rebuild. It was a short video, the last one, only a few minutes, mainly to make up for the previous one, which was about an hour, so we're back on track now. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to turn the camera around to point at the workbench and we'll look at how the fuselage has stuck together. Right, so let's remove the clamps. Let's see what we've got. That seems to have gone together pretty good. Just again tidy up the bits of the glue, expand it over, and off the side of the fuselage as well here. Easy enough to do. Filling is going to be required. To the other side. In fact, there's a big chunk of balsa here come out and probably got the bit of balsa that came out, or at least part of it. That bit there by the looks of it. I won't bother sticking that back in because I'll fill that, because I'm never going to get that in back in place as it should be, because by the time I've cut some of this glue out of the way, which was oozing through the gap, I very much doubt if that will fit nicely in that. No, I won't bother with that. Okay. I just want to, now that it is dry, offer up the canard and see how that fits in. Looking good. Yeah, that should be okay when that's glued in place. Make sure I pin that down there, but obviously I'm not going to do this until I've done the covering on the fuselage. And one last thing I need to check is the underside, the hatch. Stick a wiring back in, make sure the hatch still fits okay. Yeah, everything lines up really well. That's good. So the next thing I think to do is really to start preparing the fuselage ready for painting and covering. So let's just get my sandpaper. And where I've still got, there are cracks in the fuselage here. When I say cracks, the cracks in the paint showing through. I need to rub that down to make sure I've got a good base on which to fill before I repaint this. In fact, I just found there's this bit of balsa underbelly here. It's not quite. There's a bit of a joint has split apart here, so I'm just going to rub that down, and I'll put some superfatic into that joint. I think it's alright this side, it's just this side here. Yeah, see that? So let's just get some superfatic. And just wick it into that. Joint there, let's just open that up a bit, I think. Move that backwards and forwards as I did before. Back on there, I think I was going to pin it, but then I've just looked and I thought, no, you know what, let's clamp it in place. So that's what I'll do. Again, clamp on there. If I had a clamp that worked properly. That's good, the glue again is wicking it, is coming out of there, so I'll let that dry before going any further on that, and I'll get the lightweight filler so I can start to infill the nose there. I've got my one strike or Red Devil filler, they're the same, they're lightweight. Just mix that up a bit just to make it into a nice creamy consistency. There we go. And start applying. Yeah, that'll do. I'll let that dry, and then what my sanding down to do. Pretty good. I may just fill a bit in there, because that's where I had it clamped and I couldn't get to it obviously when I was gluing that bit of the underside of the fuse down. Need some in that join there as well. So let's do that now. So we're back with the build, having given it plenty of time for the filler to dry. Hopefully you can't hear the noise that's in the background. I'm just laser cutting something for my wife. So what I've got to do now is sand this filler off, the last filler I put on. So that now is ready. There you can see, just rotate that round, the filler in place. It's all ready for paint. I will probably just give it a once over with an undercoat, primer undercoat, because I don't really know how well this Day-Glo paint covers, so rather than put it on hoping, I think I'll put it on and I think I'll put on an undercoat first of all. It's no hassle to do that. That'll be the next job. So back on the building board, I've now recovered the fuselage, and I've actually put black in place here, going to a bit of a pointy top there. I've resprayed the nose section, although my fluoro orange isn't as fluoro as Ian's was, so I may redo that. I don't know yet. We'll see. So the next, oh yeah, the other thing is I've also re-ironed the covering back down on the canard, and I put a black piece on top. Again, slight change, and you'll see why in a moment. So let's just put the canard in place like that, which will be the next job, would be to glue that in place. And the idea is when the cockpit canopy goes on here and slides forward into position, in fact, let's just pin that in position. So let's just loosely do this up. What did concern me when I was offering the canopy up earlier was that it looks as though it could well foul the elevators, the canard controls. I don't know if it will or not, but it certainly looks as though it's in position to do that, or in a position to do that. So what I might do is I might well glue that in place. I don't know yet, but that's the general, you see the general idea of what I tried to do, is give it this black mass in the center part of the fuselage here, obviously contrasting nose, and I think it looks quite good myself. And obviously you've got the black there going on, oops, like so, yeah. So I think that looks quite good. Anyway, it's going to remain like that. Now I'm not going to change it. So the only thing I may do is I may try and get some more of a Day-Glo orangey colour for the nose, bright orange, we shall see. Anyway, the next job is to stick this canard in place, get my lumberjack glue, and use this I didn't really need to use lumberjack glue on this bit. It's a good fit, to be fair to Ian. It's a very good fit actually. I could have just used, well, on the front maybe here where the bolts have got a bit torn. dob there and there. Let's just work that in. So it fills in all the nooks and crannies. Go. Put it in place, and I'm going to pin it because it's going to be somewhat difficult to clamp. Making sure that the lines up with the fuselage, and making sure that the front is pinned as well. Let's just check the alignment now to make sure that the canard lines up with the main plane, which it does. Pleased with that. I may just put another couple of pins through an angle into the fuselage below, so that's pinning it really nicely onto the fuselage underneath there. So that's all good. We'll let that dry. Can't do any more work to it until such time as it is dry. Goodness me, that glue's reacting very quickly. It's foamed up already.